I said there's something. I said there's something yeah about a boy like that.
Why isn't
The
Manny
reason
on tonight?
I don't know.
He's probably at the bar picking up on loose women or loose
Yep.
change. Who knows?
I know what bar
Grazing.
it's at. The long bar.
Grazing with the cows.
Grazing with the cows.
Gee, Al's laughing because it's probably true.
I've been at the bar with him. I know what's going on.
Yeah.
You survived?
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yep, but they can never go back to the airport Hilton.
All right, let's get this on the road. Here we go.
It's time for Red Salad Review with your hosts, Wayne Moon, Greg Donald, and Lou Max.
All right, welcome to Red Salad Review. Hello, Andy, and hello, Al.
Hey, what's going on? Wayne?
Welcome back to Red Salad Review.
What's up, guys?
Hey. I just
Hello.
realized I quoted What's Happening. Hi.
Hey.
I love that show growing up.
Who didn't?
Could've
Which
did
doobie
the- Could have did Fat Albert. Hey.
Oh, hell no. No, I'm not touching Cosby. I don't want to get hot Cosby myself, so I'm not touching Cosby. Forget
I
that.
don't.
You're not
I
touching
don't
Cosby,
give.
but he's
I don't give a shit. That's why I was late. I was watching a Cosby Show rerun. Fucking Rudy got lost at the mall, and I wanted to see how it turned out.
Little girl, would you like a piece of Jello pudding pop? Sorry.
He was trying on. He was trying on some sweaters.
Yes.
For those listening, I was doing the Cosby dance.
Yes. Oh, I'm gonna use that later.
Oh shit, I'm fucked.
Welcome to the show. Hello, Catman. Catman is in the chat as always every Wednesday. And if you want to be like Catman, you would join us in the chats too, right here on YouTube, Rat Salad Review. Today's subject is Kiss. Yes, we're doing Kiss again. Will we ever stop doing Kiss? I don't think we'll ever stop doing Kiss.
Well, if we do, our wives will divorce us.
We'll keep continuing doing Kiss, I guess.
Okay.
All right. But today's a little bit different. Today's we're not talking about a specific album or anything, but we're gonna do one song for every album. We're gonna pick our favorite off of each album. Very tough to do. Very tough. And Greg, you're nodding along with me. I mean, you told me in the chat earlier how tough it was just to do Creatures of the Night.
I love that album. It means so much to me. It's one of the first ones I had. I love every song on it. That was nearly impossible. I mean, there's a couple I'm not super familiar with because I was never crazy about them. The newer ones, Sonic Boom and Monster. But Creatures of the Night, the debut. It's like, God, this is like pulling teeth.
Very tough.
This one
flip a coin and pick one.
All right, let's go around the room. Though, how did you guys get into Kiss? Andy, we'll get to you first.
Oh yeah, great. Well, I've said this before. I think even on this show, I'm kind of new to Kiss. I've only been listening to Kiss.
Oh, that's right.
Since 2015. So I've only been into Kiss for 10 years. That seems like a long time, but it's not that long to be deep rooted in a band because 10 years isn't that long. But the first album I bought was Alive. And from there on, I just started get as much as I can and listen to as much as I can. And the thing with Kiss, I always said, Kiss is this, no, I don't like to listen to them. But then after I changed my view, instead of thinking of them as Zeppelin or Floyd or something like that, I said, you know what? This is just good, wholesome American rock and roll. It's just fun music.
Yeah.
And I started to look at it that way. I really started enjoying them more. At first, I was like, oh, well, their lyrics aren't like Roger Waters or Lennon. Well, it's not meant to be. They brought rock back to fun in the 70s, and they continued that. So I really enjoy listening to them now.
Yeah, very cool.
Have you?
Very cool.
Cool.
How about you, Al? Because this guy has a show off. He's got to go in his little special room there to show his Kiss logo behind him, all lit
I'm on
up.
my back. I'm on my back porch.
That's
It's the only place.
awesome.
It's the only place I could. My wife would let me put the sign.
And jeans jacket, pair of what's
Yeah.
that? Aces boots. That's awesome.
No, that's jeans boots too. Now I'll tell you the story about this sign and the costume. Well, first time how I got into Kiss was actually I came into Kiss late. I wasn't into them as a little kid. Although I do remember Kiss Meets the Phantom being on TV and watching that. And then I guess the first real time I got exposed was one of my best friends, John, that lived across the street from me, came over one day and he had Kiss Destroyer on the album and he put it on and I heard Detroit Rock City and I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. And I must have only been like maybe 9 years old or something. But I didn't pursue them any further. It wasn't like I had to go out and get Kiss. It was like Kiss Mania and everything for me. I just kind of forgot about them. And it wasn't until like the 80s when my brother had like the Animalize cassette and I put that on and I really got into it. So I got into it through the 80s Kiss, actually, Unmasked, non-makeup years. And then I went back and discovered, the original stuff and loved it. Loved Ace Frehley. When I started playing guitar, like, Ace I thought he was really cool and shit. So, now how I got this sign was when I lived up in New Jersey, there was a New York radio station. You guys know Q1043, right?
Yep. It was a pure rock station back in the day.
Yeah. Well, it's a classic rock station now, but
Aren't they all?
every once in a while I'd listen to the morning show, Jim Kerr in the morning, and they always have like contests and shit. So I entered this contest. I called in. I won. It was like during the week in the morning. You called in and you won that Spinning Gold movie. It was the movie about Casablanca Records.
Okay.
The one that was on Netflix, right?
Yeah, but I mean, it was in the movies, I guess, but for like a little while. But it was you won a Blu-ray, and then you got entered into this grand prize contest where you win this sign. The actor that played Gene in the movie, his costume. So this sign is actually from the movie set.
Oh, okay.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and then the costume was the actor that played Gene. That's the actual costume he wore, and the boots and everything. It all came. I wanted like a turntable, and it took almost. I mean, I had won it in like February of like 2023, and it didn't get delivered like until after I moved down here, and it was like November of like 2023. It was like months later, and I emailed the promotions guy at the radio station. I'm like, dude, I don't live in New Jersey anymore. Don't deliver it there. I live in Florida now. And, and it got delivered like from out in California all the way to my house. Some guy just drove up in a truck and took this big ass box that like weighed like 500 fucking pounds, man. And my dad was home and he helped the guy wheel it into my garage, man.
Wow.
And I opened it up and it was this fucking monstrosity. So,
Was he asking, man, what do they sell in the back of comic books nowadays?
holy shit. I gotta tell you something right now, man. Like the sign being on, the heat against my back is insane. I'm sweating, man.
An eternity of swamp ass.
At least it's nighttime in Florida now.
And I
don't
live
mean
in
a
Florida,
damn thing down there.
I know.
Yeah, I gotta turn the ceiling fan on. I got a ceiling fan over here. So anyway, that's my story. I got into Kiss in the mid, like I saw Kiss for the first time, Asylum tour, in 1985, December 16th, 1985, Madison Square Garden. That's the first time it was my first concert.
With Black and Blue was the opener, right?
Black and Blue was the opener, yes. So that's how I got into them.
So Tommy went from opener to Gopher Boy to Ace.
And then now he's back to go paint my house. Paul tells him to go paint his house.
I'm sure he made a nice retirement from it all. I think he's fine.
Oh, listen, he's set for life, dude.
Yeah.
Ain't no doubt about it. So
he kissed the ring and he was rewarded.
Yep.
What's the wattage on that thing?
Dude,
10 million gigawatts.
his thing is his meters outside spinning
it's-
like
yeah.
Christmas
Dude,
vacation.
it's going like this, man. Shoo.
Gonna plug it into the
And
neighbor's house or
somewhere
something.
Gene is sitting.
I'm sure.
We're,
I'm sure.
we're
in the
all
mid-
getting cancer from this thing
I'm-
right now.
I'm sure in the middle of this podcast, my house is gonna black out.
I was gonna
It's in
say,
the
Rolling
refrigerator.
blackout.
We're gonna start hearing smoke alarms going off and everything. It's interesting. All right, Greg, how about you? I know we've talked about this 1,000 times, but just to refresh everybody.
Well, I'm younger, so the first time I really saw them and everything wasn't even the makeup era. It was
The
they-
unplugged.
no Revenge. But what God Gave Rock and Roll to You 2 was in Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey and on the soundtrack. So that's actually how I first heard them, and then I started getting albums and getting into it back from Revenge, and right around then went to that one of the Kiss conventions in 95, and it started ramping up to the reunion. So as I was discovering as I was discovering the earlier albums later on, it was all lining up with that and that tour taking off. So that was awesome. It was like the perfect time to be a younger Kiss fan, because you would see all this in videos of them in makeup and all that. It's like, wow, Revenge is awesome, but that looks really cool. And then, yeah, they reunited, saw Live Worldwide and Psycho Circus and the original farewell tour.
I was at that one.
I was actually at Peter's last show. Got to see him freak out a little bit on stage.
That was in Columbia, South Carolina, right?
Yes.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yep. I lived in Maryland at the time. I got to go to 2 shows. I saw them in Columbia, Maryland. And then I don't even remember what radio station we won tickets from at the time, but the other show ended up being in South Carolina.
What about you, Lou?
I did see the music videos on U68 growing up. I saw the videos for Lick It Up, and I thought Gene was fugly as hell back then as a 6-year-old child. And I saw the video for Heaven's on Fire, and I said, I don't think I should be watching this at 6. And never really heard them again until I saw the video for Unholy, which I thought was cool. And that was 92. A year later, my brother takes me to Nobody Beats the Wiz. After I got him into a bunch of the bands that I was into at the time, like Tool and Helmet, and wasn't a Type O fan yet because I hadn't discovered them. But I was still a fan of the metal and some of the harder alternative bands that were coming forward. And he was getting into them. And he was like, you know what? I want to turn you onto something that I was into when I was your age. So we go over to the K section. I'm thinking he's going to pull King Diamond out. Nope, he pulls out Destroyer by Kiss. And I'm like, what is this? And, I'm like, why would I be interested in a band with 4 guys wearing black spandex with clown paint on their face? Like, I didn't get it. And then he's like, just buy it and you'll get it. Bought it. I couldn't put down Detroit Rock City for 3 weeks. And I still had that copy of that CD in my CD collection. So that's what made me a Kiss fanboy. And like Greg, I did see the farewell tour with the original lineup, night 1 at Jones Beach. And, it was bittersweet. I was sad that they were going, but after seeing that performance, I was like, you know what? They earned their stripes, let them go off into the good night. 23 years later, they were still going, but albeit without 2 of the original members, which after discussions with Michael Brandvold, I can understand why, and I accepted it. I didn't have to go support it, but I wasn't going to stop anybody else from going to support it. It just wasn't my thing. My thing was the original lineup, and with Eric Carr and with Bruce and Eric. So, I was good, and still love their music though. I thought Monster was a great album. So
Okay.
And you?
No, I don't like Monster.
No,
Catman.
what got you into Kiss?
I know. I wanted to read the chat here first. Catman. He got the originals in '76 and Alive shortly after, followed by Destroy and Rock and Roll Over in a short
Oh,
time span.
nice.
Well, they
Yep.
both came out the same year.
Yep. Catman's really old then, because
The
70s.
way to be ageist, Wayne.
Yeah, really. He was
And,
original Kiss Army. Respect, bro.
Edward Wright, great topic. My favorite band, Creatures, is the most listened to album of all time from Kiss or any band. Yeah, pretty
I'll
much.
agree with
It's
you on that,
great
Mr.
album.
Wright.
Yeah. Well, the Alive beats it for me, honestly, and most listened to, but Creatures is pretty far up there.
Yeah. And Greg, you just reminded me. I might have really gotten to Kiss on that soundtrack for Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey because I forgot that God Gave Rock and Roll to You was on there.
Yeah,
So
that was awesome. And the music video and all that too.
Yeah, so I think that might have been like my first, not my first introduction, but the first time where I saw Kiss, and I'm like, wow, I really need to like get more into Kiss because this song was awesome. So that might have been like my first time. But then I saw the Unholy video, and that really got me on. I'm like, wow, Kiss is really heavy, and I now I really have to get into Kiss. So around like the time of Revenge coming out is where I really got into Kiss.
Side note, listen to the cover of Unholy that Wayne, Alex, myself, and George from Timeless Haunt, I'm sorry, not Timeless Haunt, Severed Angel all did with Ralph Vieira on vocals. Did I say that name? I'm sorry. Let's throw that into the unknown, no pun intended. Anyways, 4 members of Severed Angel with Ralph Vieira covering Unholy. It's on the Rat Saw Review YouTube channel.
Yeah, it came out really good, so go check that out. But yep.
And
So
shout out to my girl Tara.
Why?
Well, she was in it, so.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I forgot. Oh, yeah, I forgot we had all the people doing. It's been so long, Lou. There's been so many things going on since then.
Yes, like we have another cover on the way, which hasn't even been touched yet.
Hasn't even been touched yet. It's coming though. It's coming.
That's what she said. Continue.
Yeah. All right, let's get into the albums. Catman, best pot plants ever, guarantees female. What? I don't know what he's talking.
Kiss Grow Light. I think he's actually
okay.
talking about a light used for horticultural purposes.
Yes.
I wouldn't know, sir. I don't touch this stuff. But you go ahead. You enjoy.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I only have the lava lamp though.
Yeah, I have a well.
That doesn't surprise me.
You can see it. I have a. It's a
dude,
light,
that lava
it's
lamp
like this
is
fire.
awesome.
What do you got,
All
Wayne?
It's a thing that lights. It's a box. It lights up, and it actually was from probably from the farewell era of the band. And actually, I was at that show too, by the way, Lou.
The Friday night one.
The first show.
Yeah, I was there too. It was
where
great.
Ace was drunk and fucked up every single solo that he did on that show.
Oh, he was drunk?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, you didn't know that?
I thought that was Ace being Ace.
But it's
Have you seen him lately? It's horrible.
Oh, it's terrible. But the thing I have is a box, and it when you turn it on, it looks like there's fire inside, and their faces and the logo lights up.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it'd be nice if I had it on back there, but I put it over there where nobody can see it, so that was cool. Good idea. Anyway. All right, we're gonna get to the Kiss albums, one and done. Andy, what is your number one pick for the debut album?
The debut album, 74, I believe, or 73.
74.
74.
I am going to go with Cold Gin. It's one of my favorite songs by the band. I think it's a really cool track. So I'm going to go with Cold Gin for my one and done.
Cold Gin time again. All right, Al.
Great Ace too.
I'm going Black Diamond, man. It's my actual favorite Kiss song of all time. So it's
Fucking
number
right.
one.
Me too.
It's a
And,
good
and
pick.
on that album, and I love, and contrary, I mean, a lot of people are like, "Oh, I don't like the ending where it slows down." I love it. To me,
It's awesome.
it's like it makes it more ominous and like dark, and I love it, man. So
Yeah.
Black Diamond for me, man.
I love that part. Boom, boom.
Yeah, it's cool. Actually, there might be a Severed Angel song that kind of starts like that, right, Lou? On the next
Yes, but that hasn't been released yet. No spoilers.
one. Greg picked the same song, right, Greg?
Yep, Black Diamond. My
Black
favorite
Diamond.
Kiss song ever too. I prefer the Alive version, but the album version is amazing as well.
Any
And
Black
a little
Diamonds
bit of
with Black
everything.
Diamond.
Plus Peter singing, you just can't beat it.
Mm-mm.
And Um, first time I ever listened to this on LP and it gets to that slow part, I actually thought something was wrong with my record player. I didn't fucking know any better. I was like 12. I'm like, what? Would you?
You're gonna.
What about you, Lou?
100,000 years.
Good one.
Oh, okay. That's a
Great
good
one too, man.
Honestly, there's not one bad song off of the debut album. It's very hard to pick one song.
No,
Yeah.
though
Any
I
pick
honestly
is good.
I wish Kissin' Time wasn't on it.
Okay, I can agree with you with that.
Yeah.
Well, that was
But
a
I
whole
don't hate it.
campaign.
Yeah.
That
Oh,
was
I
a
know.
whole campaign that didn't work in their favor.
Yeah. I'm going Black Diamond too. So
Oh.
that's 3 for Black Diamond.
Right. Because Black Diamond fucking rules.
That's right. And
Oh, yeah,
everybody should have had that
totally.
pick.
Yep. I mean, Strutter's great, nothing to lose. Cold Gin, 100,000 Years, but Black Diamond's just the best. I seriously, I think it's the best song they ever wrote.
Yeah.
I always said if there was a person that asked me, give me one Kiss song that encapsulates the band, to me it's Black Diamond, man.
Hmm.
That to me that's not Rock and Roll All Night, none of that shit. Black Diamond, man.
Black
So-
Diamond is the closest studio sound to them live, honestly. Yeah, it captures everything.
Edgar Wright said
The
Deuce.
excitement of it.
Deuce. Yep.
Oh, Deuce is awesome too.
Good one too. Like I said,
Funny
there's
thing
no
is,
wrong answer.
because of when I was getting into them and all, Dress to Kill, I think, was the first makeup album I got and heard in full. But I discovered Freely's Comet around the same time, and I actually thought that was a Comet song at first. I didn't realize it was a Kiss song until I got the debut.
And Andy, you said something, but your audio cuts in and out once in a while. What did you say?
Does it? Oh crap. Okay. I'll try to talk louder, maybe.
It's okay. But did you say something before?
Oh, it's all right.
It's all right. Okay. All right. All right. Next album, Hotter Than Hell. Andy,
Yeah, I am going to go with Parasite.
good choice. First time I heard that song was with Anthrax doing a cover of that. So I thought
They did a good cover of that too.
they did.
Yeah.
They did.
Really good at doing covers. They really are.
They are most of the time. Al,
Well, Hotter Than Hell is my favorite Kiss studio album.
really? Okay.
Yeah. My favorite era of Kiss is the first 3 albums when they were dark, mysterious, hungry, like black and white.
And
That was
broke,
like-
most importantly.
And what?
Broke, most
Yeah.
importantly. Simmons had yet to become pretentious.
That's why they were hungry. And the first 3 albums, that's the era Kiss I love, my favorite. And then, after Live with Destroyer, they became comic book Kiss to me. Like they became like all of a sudden like colors started coming in to the picture and all that, And it's still I love Destroyer, Love Gun, Rock and Roll Over. I love that era as well. But that's like when they became rich and all that shit started creeping in, from outside. But the first 3 albums, man, I hold sacred. So this is my favorite studio album by theirs. And it's tough for me to fucking pick one song, man. I'm gonna go Going Blind though. I love that song, man. Going
Wow.
Blind. I love the Melvins version of that too. They slow it down and make
too.
it even fucking heavier. But yeah, I love Going Blind on here.
Did you like the Dinosaur Jr. version?
I never even knew they had a version.
I think
Yeah.
you're getting it. Oh wait, no, they did. Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, on the Kiss My Ass tribute album.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they did it on there. That's right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I liked what they did with the orchestra on it. I thought that was a nice touch.
Yeah. That was
Yeah,
the
no,
first
it's
time I
good,
ever
man.
heard that
was a good
song.
version. I still like the Melvins version better.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah, it's
So
good stuff.
that's my pick.
Greg.
All right. Now it's time to piss everybody off. Mainline.
Really?
Yeah. Actually, I do love that song, but no, my favorite on here is Strange Ways, although it was a very tough choice between those two. But that riff on Strange Ways just pulls it off, man.
That was almost my pick.
So all that reverb and the dankness and the raspiness of Peter's voice is just amazing.
This is a good
But nobody ever talks about Mainline, and I know that's bouncier, happier type song, but I think that's a really good one. So
That's not bad. It's not terrible.
Sounds like
It's
it's
it's a
sounds
cute
like
pop song.
sounds like it was
Mhm.
recorded in a fucking trash can.
the whole album
The whole
sounds
album
like
does,
it was
yeah.
recorded in a trash
Of
can.
course,
Yeah, but there's a difference between an album like this and Saint Anger. This one's better.
this one's actually good. Yeah, the songs
Well,
the songs overcome the production.
Exactly.
mhm. And it helps the vibes of some of it too.
It does. It makes it darker
Going
and
Blind's a great example of that, actually.
yeah. That's why
Yeah.
that's why the grunge guys probably loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually love the production on this album.
Yeah,
I
It-
love it because it's not good.
It
It's,
gives it-
it's
it gives it its charm. Yeah, I think.
exactly.
Yeah, yeah. No, I wouldn't change a thing, man. Honestly, like I think it gives it a darker vibe and more ominous kind of vibe to it. So yeah,
Yeah, I think it's funny because like they were trying to the way they explained it, they said, the first album was recorded in New York, which was at the time was a city in turmoil, and it sounded happy. And then they figured, let's go to California where we can relax. And then it ended up having the opposite effect because it ended up being sounding like a darker album than the first one. And that was recorded in California. So, the
There was a-
irony of that.
there was a story I heard about like because it was the first album and this one that were produced by Kenny Kerner and Richie Wise.
Richie
right?
Wise,
So-
yeah, same team.
Okay, so what I heard, and I thought I read it, and I don't know if one of you correct me if I'm wrong or not. I'm sure a Kiss nerd out there will correct me if I'm wrong. But when they recorded it, somehow I think on some sort of the recording equipment or something, the polarity was reversed or some shit like that. And that's why it came out. The recording was like this, and somehow it can, even if they had the master tapes, it can't be fixed because it was just recorded this way. It's on the master, like the tracks. You know what I mean? Like that's what I heard. Something about polarity being reversed or some shit like that. I read that somewhere. I think with one of these guys, Kenny Kerner or Richie Wise or something. That's why they said it was kind of ruined the production, but they didn't have any money to go back and fix it, so they put it out that way. So I don't know. That's what I heard and read. I'm probably wrong, but
Mhm.
it might be folklore. Who knows?
Don't
Pretty
good
reverse
story,
the
though.
polarity.
I think with technology now, man, I mean, they could probably fix it though.
Well,
I
have
do
But I don't know if the
know,
master tapes. I thought I heard the master tapes were lost for this album too, or something.
I do know the first night they were in Los Angeles, Paul's guitar got stolen.
Uh,
Yeah.
Have you heard the Frankenstein 50th anniversary remixes?
I didn't hear it for this album, but I heard he did something for this, right?
He did the whole album. It's
Okay.
very good. He does some really good work. That guy. I was going through all the mixes that he's done so far, and
I've heard the elder one, which I thought was great.
Yes.
that
Yeah.
was pretty good too.
That was impressive.
Yeah.
But I like what he does. Like he doesn't take like what's already done. Like he'll blend in like some of the live versions and put the solos in there, and he'll tweak
Yeah.
the drums to it. But it sounds good. He doesn't like go overboard, like where you're gonna be like, oh, this is terrible. He does a really good job.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he hasn't gotten a cease and desist.
I'm surprised too, but I guess he's not profiting from it. So maybe just
That-
goes.
that
I
might
don't
Well,
be
know.
maybe they were thinking of doing something like that. They're going to let him do all the work and slap a
Steal-
copyright suit on his ass and take his
Yeah.
work for free.
Very possible.
Sounds like a Simmons move, doesn't it?
Better
Yeah, take
download
that,
him now
Carl
while you
Gooch.
can.
You hear that? You hear that, Gene?
I invented the wheel.
I just want to go to the chat quick. Catman says he's going with Black Diamond. As a kid, that ending sounded so dark and heavy, and Peter singing, he thought it was wicked.
Oh, he's from Boston.
Yeah, yeah. And he's also going with Strange Ways, so heavy aces
Nice.
slay. And Edward Wright, Strange Ways, best ace solo. Parasite.
That's
is
a
his
great
favorite.
solo. Yeah.
All
that
right, Lou.
that might be my favorite solo of his the first two albums. Actually, Strange Ways is really special in that respect.
All right, Lou, what are you picking?
Well, this is going to be one of the few times I'm happy that I'm going with the pack. I'm going with Strange Ways. And
Oh, wow.
as a guitar player, this is the best solo that Ace has ever cut. Is he doing anything off kilter? No, he's not pulling sweep picks or whatever. but I dare anyone try to duplicate what he's doing on this song, and you can't because you don't have his feel. You don't have his DNA. Okay, this is Ace's best hour.
But I do have a quart of gin, and I'm gonna try to get close.
Make sure it's cold. That's all I gotta say.
And I'm with Al. I'm going with "Going Blind." Love that song. I loved it when that "Kiss My Ass" thing came out. I always said that was a really good song. I love that cover, and the original's even better. So going with that one. All right, "Dress to Kill," Andy.
Yeah, I'm going with She. I really like the hard rock sound of it, but also the pop hook that they have on it. So
Yeah.
cool. I'm going with She.
It's a good one. Did you ever hear the Wicked Lester version with all like the flutes and the bongos?
Oh, nah.
No, you gotta check that one out.
I don't know.
It is.
He's not a Jethro Tull fan, so don't
Oh, no,
don't force it on him.
It was very flowery. I'll say that. It was very
Yeah.
flowery.
It's different. It's good though. I actually do like it. What about you, Al?
I'm gonna agree with my partner, man. I love that song, man. It's pretty heavy, man, and I don't know. So far, the last two, man, I've been going to a Gene song. So,
Yeah.
but I love it, man. I love She's a great song, man.
Very
And
cool.
Anthrax covered that one too, right?
Yes, they did.
Yeah,
On the Kiss My Ass, yeah.
yeah,
Last recording that they did with Dan Spitz.
yeah. That's right.
Greg.
Come On and Love Me. This perfectly exemplifies when people call them heavy Beatles because it's so true. It's so catchy, yet so heavy at the same time. Great song.
And Anthrax covered that one too, right? With John Bush.
No,
No.
Skid Row covered that
Yes.
on B-Sides Ourselves.
Oh,
Yes.
right.
Yep. Yeah, it was Skid Row. Yep. Yeah.
I
The
thought
version of it.
Anthrax covered that one too.
I don't think so.
They didn't cover that one, but I know which one you're thinking, and that's actually my pick.
Which
Okay.
is
Love Her All I Can.
That's the one.
That's
I'm sorry.
it. Yeah.
You're correct on that. Okay,
wow, we all picked different songs.
that's the John Bush era. Yeah,
Yeah, which is my favorite era. Sound of White Noise is my favorite album from
Yep.
Anthrax. And I actually have the Black Lodge single that's the song appears on.
got
So
that one too. And they did a cowboy song too on there.
they did, which ended up being on the reissue for Sound of White Noise. But unfortunately, Love Her All I Can was omitted from that
that sucks.
special edition. Yeah.
Lou, when you say you have it's on Black Lodge, do you have a CD single?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I got that one too.
I have the 10-inch vinyl. It only
Nice.
has a cowboy song on the B side.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Interesting. Catman, She's great, and Come On, Love Me is great. Yeah, they're both great. I'm going with Rock Bottom though.
Actually, Paul is a very great rhythm player. Sorry, Wayne, I heard what you said.
That's
but
all
I was
right. It just
thinking,
blow me off.
Come
Who
On
am
and
I?
Love Me
Who
might
am
be
I?
one of the best riffs he ever wrote, though. But Rock Bottom's great.
They're all great.
I think Rock
Everything's
Bottom
great.
would have been my second choice, Wayne. So
Yeah.
I think out of the first three as well. I think this album has the best production out of the first three.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, of course.
They finally got something sort of right on here.
it's
Although
also the
Eddie-
shortest.
Although Eddie Kramer should have been the producer, man. Of those.
Yeah, I think it's the best sounding as far as clarity goes, but I do think Neil left it a little too flat because he was thinking more pop music.
True.
Well, he was also high as a motherfucker on cocaine during the production of it. So
Yeah. Well, so was Bob Ezrin, but we'll get to my problems with that later.
Edward Wright said Rock Bottom, so he agrees with me, and he says Come On, Love Me is a close second.
I prefer the UFO Rock Bottom.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Speaking of Rock Bottom and She, though, so I got double platinum way later after I had these albums. That pissed me off so immensely. They took the acoustic intro to Rock Bottom and put it in front of
yeah.
She. It doesn't even fit. It is such an abrupt
I totally forgot about that.
transition.
Yeah, that don't work.
Double platinum. You either love it or you hate it. I like the Strutter 78. I don't mind that it got disco-fied. But
I like the
yeah,
original better, but I mean,
As do
Shredder
I.
78 is pretty good.
but Double Platinum is a definite love it or leave it, no pun intended, album.
It's
think
an,
that's
I
a good
got
one.
it. I got the joke.
What were you saying, Andy?
I think it's a good compilation album. Double.
Yeah, no.
Mhm.
It's actually my first Kiss compilation album.
And
I'm
since
jealous.
then,
Mine was smashes, thrashes, and hits.
Oh my
And since
god.
and since
Mine
then they've
was
had a million
Killers.
of them.
Yeah.
Yes, they have a million. Destroyer. Andy.
Yeah, Destroyer is my favorite Kiss album. I love it.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with God of Thunder. I like God of Thunder. That's a damn good song. I like the It is Gene, right, guys? I'm
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
I like the
Yep.
Gene. The Gene
Paul
song
wrote it though.
more, a little bit more menacing, and I like that from him. And I'll talk about that a little bit more later, where it really sticks out. But yeah, I'm gonna go with God of Thunder.
The funny thing is, Paul wrote that for him, but it ended up working out for Gene better.
Yeah, don't they have Paul's version in like the
box set.
The box set.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's interesting. It's much faster too, by the way.
That's certainly one way of putting it.
But that's what I like about this. I like the slow lurking sound of it.
Yeah. Yeah, it fits with the song. Yeah.
Yeah, it does. It fits with the theme of the song.
It sounds like it was recorded in hell. That's what I like about it.
Al?
Or Pompeii.
Well, I'm gonna pick a Gene sung song as well, and it's not Great Constipation.
Dude, I would fly down there to smack you if you did, especially sitting in front of that sign.
It's not great. It's not Great Constipation. I hate that song. That's the blemish on this album for me. Sorry for any fans of it, but I'm not clutching my
Hate it.
breast. I'm not clutching my breast for Eugene. Sorry. But no, I'm agreeing with my partner. God of Thunder, man. That's Gene's like signature, and 3 in a row for Gene for me, man.
Yeah.
Shit. So
Very
that's
cool.
my pick, man.
All right, Greg.
I'm also going to go God of Thunder, although this was the first one I got album wise that I was a little disappointed in, because
Really?
the first 3 are amazing. And well, I mean, okay, they get bigger here. I totally understand why the commercial appeal got more and how it made them bigger, both in image and everything like that. And granted, Beth is amazing. Some of the side things they do work here, but there's stuff like Great Expectations that just what they do there work better on the Elder, because in spite of what they might say about it, music from the Elder was more thought out. It kind of feels like it was just thrown in here and it doesn't really fit. And then also they're writing a lot of new songs here. They didn't have any of their repertoire left over from their earliest days. Not all the tunes are super strong.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
But
I feel like it's only
God
like-
of Thunder is like quintessential. That is a true Kiss classic, and easily my favorite on here. Detroit Rock City's another great one as well. But
It's a great opening song.
King of the Nighttime World's a good song too. But they're just, Shout It Out Loud's basically a rock and roll night repeat. I
Prefer it,
loved
though.
it when I was younger. It was great to see. Oh no, I prefer it too. It's just, I feel like the previous albums were more masterful than this, although this takes more chances sound wise.
This is where they basically learned the $1 million making, million selling formula. This
Bob
is what
Ezrin stuck a metronome in the studio,
that's exactly what happened.
had a whistle, said, "We're going to school, campers."
Campers.
Exactly.
What about you, Lou?
I'm gonna go King of the Nighttime World.
It's a good one.
I love it. Once I moved past Detroit Rock City after 3 weeks and I heard King of the Nighttime World, I was hooked. I mean, as a 13-year-old, I don't know, it just brought me a lot of joy listening to that song. I was like, This is what being a 13-year-old is supposed to sound like. It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be jovial. And growing up in Astoria, Queens, which I swear to God felt like I was living in Traumaville, it was it was a rough situation. So Kiss was an appreciated escape from reality.
Very cool. Edward Wright says God of Thunder, and he loves the demo with Paul and vocals because it has a faster tempo.
Oh, and also because I know this bothers Wayne,
What?
that album also contains one of my most hated Kiss songs. Do You
Sweet.
Love Me? Awful.
You really hated that much?
That song. It's all right.
It. I don't like it at all.
Okay.
No, it's the melody wouldn't be so annoying if it was arranged better, but it also feels incomplete to me. I just don't like the setup of it. You know, it starts off with Peter playing the drums and all that. It's pretty cool, but then when you get into the "Do you let me?" Really, they weren't Blue Oyster Cult. They tried very hard, but they can't do that type of harmony.
Fair enough. I mean, I liked it. I mean, to me, it felt as a New York City kid, I guess it just felt like a part of history, like the whole glam thing. So I don't know. I
See,
guess
that's the problem with it. It sounds like a parody of a glam song. It doesn't really.
I'll meet you halfway on that.
Yeah, but
Man,
after Alive, after the success of Alive, they really had to come out big, and I think that's what they did with Destroyer. And I think it was a perfect album, perfect time.
Yeah, because remember, they were maxing out Bill O'Coin's credit cards.
Yeah,
Wait.
hell, wore his suits, everything.
What's your favorite, Wayne?
let me get to the chat first. Catman, he's going with King of the Nighttime World and Sweet Pain. No, you only get one Catman, but that's your second pick. I'll let
But
you
Sweet
know
Pain's
that.
good too.
Sweet
Good pick,
Pain,
yeah,
okay.
man.
And he says he's with you, Greg. They sounded larger than life, but there was some orchestra stuff and lighter stuff. Yeah. I don't. You know what? This is like one of the biggest Kiss albums, but when I listen to it, I'm like, all right, I like a couple songs. I don't like the whole album, but I'm going with Shout Out Loud. I know it's like the easy pick, and like you guys said, it's the second Rock and Roll All Night, but it's a great song. I love it. It's a party song. It's fun. It's happy. It's it's a Kiss song.
As much as it kills me to say it, it is more fun in concert than Rock and Roll All Night.
Yeah, it is. Honestly, it is. It is. It's a good one. All right, Rock and Roll Over. Andy.
Rock and Roll Over. I'm gonna go with the Peter Criss song "Hard Luck Woman."
Okay.
Beautiful tune. Excellent pick, Andy.
That light rock rhythm, kind of, and I think Garth Brooks does this on the
Kiss My Ass. Yep.
on the Kiss My Ass.
Yep. With the lineup of Kiss as his backup band.
Yeah, oh yeah. So with Hard Luck Woman, I love that song.
Definitely is a good one. It was going to be one of my picks, but I did not pick that one. Al?
I'm gonna actually go with Mr. Speed. I think that's such a dark horse on the album. I love that song. I've always loved that song. Underrated in my opinion for one of the great Paul songs, man, in my opinion. So yeah, I love that one, man. I wish I would have heard that, them do that live or something, but
How's the heat in that room, by the way?
Oh, dude, my back is like boiling.
And we're only to Rock and Roll Over, not even through the first six.
I'm getting a tan right now.
I was gonna say you're probably getting a tan in here.
I got enough of a fucking tan down here.
What about you, Greg?
Calling Dr. Love.
Smart.
Love
man.
it.
It's a good one.
Yeah, I had my pick in between Calling Dr. Love and Hard Luck Woman.
Yeah. Good one.
Me too. I just ended up going with Calling Dr. Love. It's one of my favorite Gene songs. And some of his best innuendos that don't sound dumb yet. He's not putting any logs in any fireplaces.
Oh, that's what
He's
they all
just
say.
full of sin, and you're gonna let him in.
Oh, that's what they all say. Love flies out the door when money flies innuendo.
What about you, Lou? Are you calling Dr. Love?
No.
You got rock and roll pneumonia?
Hell to the fuck no. And he should keep his hands to himself because I identify with the gender I was born with. Thank you very much. I'm gonna go Making Love.
Oh,
You're such a lover.
That's. I kind of thought that was the one you were going to pick, actually, Lou, just because we talked
Why?
about this album a lot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
interesting. Very interesting.
Would
I'm
you like
going-
some Making Love Berserker? I'm sorry, no, that's not the words.
I'm going with Greg, and I'm going with Dr. Love as well. So that's an awesome song. Very catchy. I'm waiting. I'm trying to wait for Edward and Catman to comment
Honestly,
here.
probably my favorite bass line that Gene wrote outside of a two-timer, which Wayne thinks the only reason I love it is because I'm always high, but that's a great song. I don't care.
I love Two Timer.
I don't like that song.
Oh, there's not one bad song on the first 3 albums. No way.
I'm not a fan of Dress to Kill. I only like maybe 4 songs of that whole thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I'm shocked at myself.
Is it just because of how much
it is.
quicker and sharper they are? Or-
It's just I don't know. The songs just don't come out as like very catchy to me, like, as the previous 2 albums. They're just I don't know. They're just,
I mean, for all intents and purposes, it's an obligation album.
Yeah.
But I think for an obligation album, it was a really good effort. And let me tell you, it's a lot better effort that they did for that than how this band demolished and sullied the memory of Steve Clark with this album. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say.
What is it with everybody listening to Adrenalize this week? You're the 4th person that has shown me this
Really?
album.
For the record, this was my old cassette that I got in '92, and I gave it to my wife when we were dating because she still had a Walkman. Her father brings her cassette collection over. I'm like, what the hell is this doing in your collection? That's the only reason. It's complete coincidence.
I listened here. I'll turn this into a Kiss reference. I listened to one side of it in the car, and then it hit the highway doing 69.
Here's a fun fact. Wayne likes 4 songs on Dress to Kill, but he likes all 11 songs on Crazy Nights.
so
Oh, Hot in the
what's wrong
Shade
with
is
that?
his favorite.
Staying out of this one.
Rise to It really gives him his morning wood.
Edward Wright, he's going with Dr. Love too. So he's a smart man. Smart man. What are we even up to? I forgot. Love Gun.
I'm good.
Andy.
Enos. Sorry.
Yeah, I am gonna go with Shock Me. So that's what I'm coming with. Shock Me. Good track.
That is a good track. It's a good one. Al.
I gotta go Shock Me, man.
Al's
I
gonna
was
put on his black leather too.
I was gonna pick Bang Bang You, but
Oh.
That's 10 years later.
but he'll shoot you down with his love gun. No, you know what I mean? So
Hit on my love gun because I'm out of ideas, baby.
no, that Ace solo on Shock Me though, man, it's just fucking incredible. I've always it's that song just encapsulates everything that's Ace. I just wish, I mean, I know he wrote songs on the earlier albums. I wish he would have taken vocals on some of the earlier albums too. It wasn't until this one that he finally took a lead vocal, but better late than never, I guess. So as you'll see in the next couple albums, he really started, really dominating and stuff. So anyway, Shock Me is my pick.
Shock Me. Catman for the previous album, he's going Making Love with Lou. He's gonna make love with Lou.
Oh, God almighty.
Never.
I like it the pussy, but not like that.
Greg.
I'm gonna go with the title track, Love Gun.
Hmm.
I mean, and it was
fun.
a hard pick for me between that and Shock Me, but I honestly figured out of all of us, someone else would have, so we'd still get to talk about it. That's another one of my favorite Ace riffs. But so for whatever reason, and I'm assuming because it was a more popular album for them overall, I had the hardest time finding this out of the remaster series. It was just always sold out in the stores. So when I finally got it and that kicked off with I Stole Your Love, I was like, holy shit, this is the best thing they've done since Alive.
Yeah.
But Love Gun, with the song itself, just blows me away every time. Just that perfect big Kiss sound.
Never get tired of that song. Lou?
You like it because Halloween covered it too.
That's true. Yeah.
So this was actually the first album for this list that we're doing where I got stumped on.
Oh.
Yeah, this was a hard one to pick. So I'm gonna go with Then She Kissed Me. No, I'm just kidding. To be quite honest, I was almost thinking Plaster Caster, but I realized I am every time I put on I Stole Your Love, all bets are off. Best song on the album, in my opinion.
Plaster Caster's great though. I love that song, man.
No, it's a great one too. And again, Kiss My Ass, Lemonheads covered that. It was my first time hearing it. It was pretty good, but I do prefer Kiss's version.
I love the unplugged version too. It was pretty cool.
I like the unplugged
Yeah.
version a lot. Another one of my favorites on here is the Peter Criss song "Hooligan."
Yeah.
Mm.
Wayne's not a fan of the lyrics, but man, he really swings on that song. That's a great one.
Amazing. He lasted in high school till he was 22.
My buddy was in high school until he was 22. They actually asked him to stop coming back because it wasn't happening.
You have to stop, man.
Are you sure we're not talking about like a Matthew McConaughey Days of Confused situation? All right. Like nothing like that?
No.
Okay. As I love about teenagers, I'll leave it at that because I don't want to get in trouble with the authorities. Thank you.
He actually says high school girls, but yeah.
Oh, whatever. I'm some water. Continue, Wayne.
All right. The first time I actually heard "I Stole Your Love" was when Halloween covered it. So
Interesting.
Which I said before. Yep.
Well, no, you said a different song. You got confused.
No, I said they did do I Stole Your Love.
I thought you said another one.
No.
All right.
No,
Whatever.
he did
Doesn't
say
matter.
I stole your love, but you and I were talking about the song Love
All right,
Gun
so-
right before that. So
All right, there we go. That's where the confusion came in.
Yeah.
Edward Wright is also picking "I Stole Your Love," and Catman says, "Isn't that Love Gun?" And I don't. We're on Love Gun. I don't know. And that's the
Yeah.
song I'm picking though too. Is Love Gun. You know, it's about his dick, right?
It is?
Gee, really?
Really?
Get out of here.
This is such a popular motif. Rick James did it 2 years later too.
I thought it was about a water pistol used at a wet t-shirt contest.
Hey, party people!
People, let me tell you.
All right, Dynasty. Andy.
Yeah, this is where it starts to get a little
Oh,
weird.
Andy's falling
And
off.
I love these weird albums.
Okay.
It's interesting. I like when bands take a chance or start to push the envelope. So I really like these next few albums. I'm going to go with Hard Times on Dynasty.
Good one.
I thought it was a really good song. I like the lyrics, how they go back to the tough streets and how they grew up and stuff like that. So Hard Times for me. And I was telling Wayne yesterday, this is a pretty good album. I like Dynasty.
It is a
Where
good one.
people get disco this and disco that. I just don't see it. They were just moving forward with their sound to me.
Yeah,
But I'm going with Hard Times.
very cool. And Al.
I'm gonna go with X-Ray Eyes, man. I love that song, man.
That's a good one too.
I've always loved that one, man, by Gene. So that's a dark horse
course.
on this album, man.
Great tune.
Yeah, and I agree with Andy. Like, I remember being younger and when I first got this album, like, yeah, but I've grown to really love this album. It's a lot of great songs on here, man.
Mhm.
The thing that just kind of knocks it down a notch for me is Vinny Ponchia's production on it. I think he kind of takes a little bit of the balls out of there,
but
a little bit of the bite out of the guitars, man. You know what I mean?
what
after
saves
Eddie
it
Kramer.
though?
What's that?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to keep interrupting
No,
you,
it's
but
cool.
before you switch what you were saying, I was going to say what saves it though, even though I feel the same way about both this and Unmasked, is just how distorted Ace's playing is. Because honestly, if he played any less, because of the way Poncia already cut it, these albums would just sound totally flat.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, Vinny, I guess Vinny brought kind of, I guess, the kind of a pop element into the production, kind of just to make it more palatable, I guess. But but yeah, the songs again are great on here, so kind of
Mhm.
outshines the production aspect of it for me. So yeah, but I'm going with X-Ray Eyes. I love that one, man.
X-Ray Eyes. Catman, he's going with Shock Me from the Love Gun album. And Edward Wright says Magic Touch from Dynasty.
Great one too.
Great one.
All right.
There's only one wrong answer you could possibly give for this album, as far as I'm concerned.
Hmm. What would it-
Charisma. Hate it.
Oh, okay.
Hate that tune.
It's
So
a
you
dumb
got
song, but
Charisma.
I,
Oh God,
Yeah.
the echo just makes it
It's
even
there,
worse, and the melody is so annoying, and it doesn't mesh together well with the rest of the instruments.
well,
What's
you
your-
said it yourself. This is around the time where Gene was like super pretentious. So
Oh yeah, no, well, his solo album was like a who's who of Hollywood and the music business. It was,
Right, right.
hey, I'm gonna turn this into Hollywood Squares because I got a ton of money and I can. You know, and that song's a perfect offshoot of that whole era.
Yeah.
he's like
Of
the
his
Michael Bay of the
personality.
music industry.
Mm.
But that
Well, that's
Gene
hot in the
solo
shade,
album,
but
that Gene solo album could have been really good if he would have stuck to his Kiss Gene songs. Imagine if the whole album of Gene being menacing, that could have been such a good album. But he did what he did.
Yeah.
I would have
I
taken
like it.
10 radioactives over that entire album.
I like the Gene Simmons. It's got some good
Radioactive
stuff
is
on it.
great, man. I love that
Yeah.
song.
It's a good
Radioactive is
album.
the only good song on it. That album is the worst of the solo albums. I don't care.
Oh,
what you
wow,
guys
really?
say. Yeah, it's awful.
I do like the Peter one better.
That's a grower, that one.
As I've gotten older,
I
like
gotta
Yeah.
like R&B. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, all right.
When
That's
you're-
enough.
when
That's
you're a
enough. We're not
kid-
talking about those albums. Come on.
But when you're a kid though, man, you want to hear rock, them rock, and you put on Peter, it's like, what the fuck is going on?
It's
here?
terrible.
You
Okay.
matter to me, and that's fine. What the hell's
Yeah,
going on
but-
over here,
But
man?
the thing about that is, even listening to it as a kid, he was singing with heart, and you could tell he believed in what he was doing on that record.
Yeah.
Whereas with Gene, it's just bleeding money because he can on shit like oh God, what is that terrible song? Tunnel of
When
Love,
you
or
were on Star
what's that?
What?
When you wish upon a star.
of the Disney song.
Actually,
He
honestly,
did a good version of that.
that's-
I don't know.
I forgot that was on there, but I think
Yeah.
he does a good version of that. That's a
Oh, yeah, he
very
does.
heartfelt tune.
Well,
I
Liv-
would-
You don't like living in sin at the Holiday Inn?
There's only one way to get that song out of my head, and it's with a bullet, so I don't have to remember it at all.
All right, Greg, what are you picking for Dynasty?
Charisma. I'm just kidding.
No, Dirty Lip. Well, actually, Dirty Living is one of my favorite Peter songs, but no, my favorite tune from this is Save Your Love.
That's a great one too, man.
Another excellent solo from
Oh, that's
Ace.
solo, yeah. Yeah.
And even the way he sings it and plays in this, I mean, it's kind of how Ace always is, but he sounds almost demanding in this, like he's shouting orders at you. Perhaps he went through a bad breakup at the time, but very intense tune. I love it.
And he got a lot of lead vocals on this album, man.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
And actually, I love the Stones cover too, 2000 Man. I think that was a great idea. And regardless of what anybody thinks about disco, Sure Know Something's a great song. I don't care.
Yeah. I love that song too.
That's a good
Yeah.
song.
That was almost gonna be my pick.
Mine too.
Almost.
I thought about it at first too, along with Magic Touch. This album's full of great songs.
It is.
All right, Lou, what's yours?
Magic Touch.
Okay.
I mean, I do love this album. The production, although not as strong as the Eddie Kramer produced albums. Again, I'm biased. It has like that late 70s, early 80s dirty New York feel. So, being that I was in my teens when I discovered this album, and a big fan of New York history, especially the seedy side, the area known as the Deuce. And reading up on that, this album is a great listen, and Magic Touch, I love it.
Cool. Catman's going with Hard Times. And he also says, I never had a problem with I Was Made for Loving You. Really thought it was a great melody. And I do
It's
too,
a good
because that
song.
is my
Mhm.
pick. I Was Made for Loving You. Never get sick
Great
of that
pick.
song. I love
That's
that
a good
song.
song.
Now, do you prefer the studio version or the Alive 3 version?
Yes, I like them both.
Okay.
I
love
prefer the
some of the
studio, even though I like them both. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Alive 3 is good, but
Live 3 is good. I like some of the drum things that Eric Singer switches up, and it's good. They're both good. All right.
yeah, no, Singer does a good job. Well, you and I have talked about this before with them as much as we talked about Kiss. I just prefer Chris's style.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Unmasked. Andy has flipped sideways on us.
There we go. No.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
Okay. All right. Got to that. Okay. I get
There
it
you
now.
go.
All right.
All right, he's back.
I didn't think y'all could tell. So now I know.
What's your pick for Unmasked? This was a hard album
Unmasked.
for me, by the way. I really, really like this album.
I am going to go with a Paul Sung song on this one. I'm going with Tomorrow.
Excellent choice.
Years ago, that would be the only song that I would pick off of this, because I used to hate this album so much.
I remember on the
Yeah.
old message board days.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
This was one of the. This might have been the second Kiss album I bought. Was this one? I found it in the dollar bin for $1 on record, and it was clean.
Wow. It's good.
Did
fun.
it have the poster?
So you know what? Let me go ahead and take it home. It did not. I don't think it did. No, it didn't. But the Gene one still has. If you want to order Gene merch in it,
Oh,
like
cool.
for $3, and if you want to join the Kiss Army and all that stuff, I'll take a picture of it and I'll send it out to you. But yeah, I'm going to go with Tomorrow.
Very cool. Al?
Admittedly, I love the song Shandy.
Oh,
I do
dude,
too.
it's a
I do,
great
man.
song.
I love the song. I love the harmonies in it, and it's a great. This album was great. Like them doing like power pop
What it is.
almost. Kind of going for
Power
that.
pop, some of it borders on the edge of like the R&B jazz rock mix that Steely Dan did. Shandy's a perfect example.
Yeah,
It almost sounds like Kiss does Steely Dan or the Doobies.
yeah.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
I love it, man. I love the song, so I'm going with that one. This is probably the last Kiss album I ever bought ever. This was like it took me a long time to buy this one, and I finally when I got it, it took me a while to get into it. But there's some good stuff on here, man.
There really
Again,
is.
Vinnie Ponch's production just kind of neuters them a bit for me, but it was the time, it was the sound they were going for. So, Shandy definitely benefits from that type of production. Though that production is called for that song, in my opinion. But there's some other ones that could have been. I gotta admit, dude, I love Torpedo Girl too.
Oh, that's the only one I don't like.
Yeah, I like that one. I mean, I don't know. I just
That
there's
one
something
I
about
can
it.
live with.
It's corny.
just-
It's corny, but it's I like it. It's Ace, so
my only problem with it is it sounds kind of clunky. It's a little awkward.
It's Ace. What did you
Between
expect?
the bridges and the well,
The
I expected
intro.
him to not be that drunk during every overdub, but that's one of my least favorites on here. But the only song I really don't care for is the ending track. You're all that I want. Just
Yeah.
Hmm?
I like that one. The one I don't
I like
care
it.
for is She's So European.
That one's
Oh, I
bad. too.
love that song. Such a fun tune.
I
She
like that one
walked in
too.
like a lady.
With the glass
glass
of
of
pink
pink
champagne. That's right. She's spending the weekend or
It's
something in San
ridiculous.
Tropez. It's like Fast Eddie Clark says, man. Of course, that's what we sing about. That's what we live. Get pissed, get stoned, fuck a chick. What's wrong with that?
When Eddie says it, I believe it.
Eddie meant every word of that.
Of course he did.
What's your pick, Greg?
This was a really tough one for me because I love this album so much. And as badly as I want to say "Talk to Me" because I love the riff and who makes the word conversation the main line in a chorus, but it works beautifully because it's Ace. I really love "What Makes the World Go Round." I think it's one of the best pop type rock songs Paul Stanley ever did. That tune's so good it could have been on one of the Cars albums.
I love that chorus.
And
that
I
chorus
think it
is
would have
just
been
really
a hit.
cool.
But that's
The
it.
chorus,
And even though Ace doesn't play on it, which that probably one of the tunes that sounds lighter on here because Paul does a solo, that's a great Paul solo on there too. I mean, he really slays that tune. On Tomorrow as well, actually. That's the other song Ace doesn't play on at all.
Really? Because that almost sounds like an Ace solo.
Or wait a minute. Hang on.
It could have been Paul. It could have been Paul.
He's got to think. Oh,
I got to get on my phone. It might be easy as it seems, which I also love because it literally sounds like Kiss said, "You know what? We're gonna do a Donna Summer song because fuck you. That's why we're Kiss."
That is like
and
a
it
Donna Summer
works
song.
amazingly.
all right. Well, he's looking that up. Lou, what are you picking?
So I think there's some gems on this album. Probably some of the best songs on a Kiss album. I think Naked City is the best song on the
Excellent.
record. I will say that. Like Kiss doing Police type stuff, they did it very well. However, Naked City is not my favorite, but I will objectively say it's the best song on the album. My favorite, I'm gonna go Tomorrow. I'm sorry, I'm a sucker for a good melody. And I've been saying that since I became co-host on the show 4 or 5 years ago. Play me a good melody. If I like it, if it speaks to me, I love it.
Very cool.
So Paul plays all guitars and bass on Tomorrow. It's just him and Anton Fig, actually.
That's probably why it sounds so tight.
Yeah. And Ace does the second solo on What Makes the World Go Round. So that makes a little bit of sense. Okay.
Very cool. I'm glad we solved that mystery.
Oh, me too. Oh,
The case
and
is closed.
even though as much as I love this album, I will say I really think it would have been a lot better if Peter Criss was on drums because he's got that R&B Wilson Pickett voice, but what the hell is this? Whatever, it's jazzy.
Wilson Phillips.
Oh God, no.
Hold on, Wayne. Just hold
What,
on.
you got a box of tampons over there?
Like a Gene Krupa, you're thinking? Or
Yes. Thank you.
There we go. There he goes. He said Wilson. Oh.
Yeah,
All right.
I agree with you, man. His drumming would have been good on this album. Yeah.
I feel like
definitely would've fit
Fig
in.
was kind of out of context here, and Peter would have totally gotten it.
We'll never know now.
Anton is still great though.
Oh, he's a great drummer. I just, honestly, I don't think Ponce is a very good producer, and I think Fig needed a little bit more direction. He just plays it too straight here. Not that it's terrible, especially because they were doing more of a power pop thing. It works. It could be stronger if Peter was there.
Yeah.
That's funny.
It definitely worked for them on a European and international scale because it was the strength of this album that allowed them to go tour Europe, which is where they had some of their biggest success.
Have you ever watched any of the concert clips from this tour in like Australia?
I have the VHS bootleg of it.
They go crazy, man.
It is amazing watching people tearing a stadium apart and going like nuts to Shandy.
Yeah. And I will
lose it when Shandy starts.
And because of that concert video, it's why I say that is my favorite Kiss lineup. Because that band was on fire when Eric Carr joined.
Oh yeah.
still my favorite Kiss drummer to this day. All due respect to Peter Criss and Eric Singer, but Eric Carr, that's my dude.
I never noticed this, Greg, but in the picture that you have on behind you, it looks
Yes.
like there's a piece of butter floating in the air there.
Oh, it does.
Yes.
Maybe they went to Benihana's.
No, it's like
I
confetti.
want to
or
see the
something.
butterfly.
That's butter. Stop it. It's butter. Catman, he's going with "Is That You?" And
Great one.
Edward, yeah, it is a good one. And Edward Wright is going with "Naked City." And guess what, Edward Wright? I'm going with "Naked City" too because that's a really good song. And Jorn Landy does a really good cover of that song as well, which made me a big fan of that song too. That song actually made me go back and listen to this album because I've hated it so much. So I'm
actually
glad
think
I
it's
heard
Sure
it.
it wasn't. You sure it wasn't me beating you down until?
No, that definitely was not you.
I actually think that it's interesting that the guy that wrote "Is That You" is the same guy that wrote "Cry Little Sister" for the Lost Boys soundtrack.
Mhm.
That's
Alright.
that's a pretty eclectic writing style. Good for him.
All right, cool.
Yes.
Okay. The Elder, Andy.
I know that it had to be on side 2 because side 1's all right, but I think the bread and butter is on side 2, and I'm gonna go with Gene's "Mr. Blackwell."
Ooh.
Cool.
Good one.
It also depends what side 2, because there's 2 different versions of this album.
And, well, this was on side 2 on.
Okay.
I think he has the original pressing.
You have the original one. Okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, isn't Mr. Blackwell even on the remastered?
Yeah.
song? Yeah.
It is, and
It
it's
is.
still on side 2.
Oh,
It's
is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
because this
wasn't
isn't the original. This is the CD remaster, is what it
Okay.
is.
All right.
That's the one that I have.
Yeah, the other version, there's the one that you have, and then there's a version. Actually, the remaster might be the right version. I don't remember.
The
But there's also
remaster is the correct track.
is the
list,
correct one.
yes.
Okay, all right. Yeah, because there's one that was released and the order just didn't matter, and then there was one where the
Well, the
songs are
record
actually
company
in
had
it.
absolutely no faith in them because they
Yeah.
thought it was ridiculous. So they put the 2 singles, "The Oath" at the beginning of side 1 and "A World Without Heroes" at the beginning of side 2.
Yeah, which I'm always used to that version, but I like the other the way it was supposed to be too. I like both. What about you, Al?
I love this album, man. This is like almost like a top 5 Kiss album for me. I really do love this
Oh,
album. a
that
lot.
much, huh? All right.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I remember, along with an Animalize, I remember I told the story already. My father had an apartment building. The guy left behind. The guy abandoned his apartment building, left behind all the stuff. And one of the albums he left behind was The Elder. So that's really an early Kiss album that I heard as well. Like probably after, Animalize and Asylum, like around that era. And I love the album because I was already into like Rush and kind of like Pink Floyd and some progressive stuff. So I was like, wow, Kiss doing kind of like a concept album. I mean, didn't really work all that well. I mean, but I still think I think it would have needed to be a double album to flesh out more of the story. I think the story just kind of is jumbled. It doesn't really tell.
Yeah, there's a lot missing.
I do like that Frankenstein, what he did with it, man. I mean, he really fleshed out that story like by adding stuff to it, and it was a lot of songs. Anyway, so I love this album. So it's tough for me to pick a favorite one, but I'm gonna go "Only You" by Gene. I've absolutely love that song. I always have. I love the guitars towards the end when they're like really they're jamming, and I think they recycled the riff from Naked City for this song. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think the riff is similar.
Oh, maybe
for Naked City for this
It
one.
is.
Right?
It is similar, but it isn't exactly the same.
It's not exactly the same, but I mean, yeah, but there's a similarity to it though. But anyway, "Only You." I'm gonna go with that one. I love that song. Almost went with "The Oath." Love "The Oath" too. "Dark Light's" another great one. I wish fucking Ace would play "Dark Light" at shows, dude. Seriously, man.
Yeah.
I think one
That's a
time
good one.
I think one time there was like I was seeing Ace in the clubs. I think it was BB King's in New York City, and kind of in between songs, I just yelled out "Dark Light." I think Ace kind of like was like he just looked puzzled, man. Later on in that show, he actually fell off the stage by accident. He did.
That's your
Because it
fault.
was dark in there, and he was doing his guitar solo, and he went like by like the edge of stage. He actually fell and shit, dude. I thought he was fucking fucked up, dude. But no, he got back on and he continued into a solo, and his guitar was severely out of tune. And finally he stopped. He's like, I gotta change guitars. My guitar's out of tune, you know. So at least he wasn't hurt though. I was happy about that.
It's funny.
This is like not too long after like he came back, when he started like coming back and touring again, and after a long layoff there, we didn't really do anything, man, you know.
Yeah.
So
All right, cool. Catman's going with The Oath, and Edward Wright is going with The Elder, and he loves it. So many good songs. Dark Light, awesome song. Love that solo and drum part. Yeah, it's a good one. Greg?
Love this album too, and it is in my top 5 Kiss albums because it's that great. But yeah, this is another one of those you can file under. I didn't know I was supposed to hate it.
Yeah.
To me, it was just another Kiss album, you know. Even when they did talk about the reunion and all that shit on MTV, they never mentioned The Elder because it wasn't a big deal. They were trying to bury it. So I was like, oh, cool. I've never seen or heard of this one before. Let me check this out. I already listened to stuff like Yes and Rundgren. So I was already in the concept albums and stuff like Pink Floyd. And I thought it was brilliant from the beginning. A true artistic statement from these blood-spitting mimes.
What I really album too is that you could tell they put a lot of work into it. They really,
yeah,
big time.
And well, I mean, Ace was pretty disinterested for the most part. He mostly insisted on recording at his home studio, but when he did get into it, he would jam with them, like Escape from the Island. That was just him, Eric Carr, and Ezrin playing bass. So, you know, they definitely all worked hard on it, but my favorite off here is I. Just a great life-affirming shout-along song.
Good one. Lou?
It was really hard not to pick The Oath, though, and
Is this a tough album to pick too?
it's the main reason I didn't pick this is because, well, not all the band members play on it, but everybody can think what they want. I love Odyssey.
That was going to be one of my picks too.
I know Ezrin was mostly behind the string sections and all that, but he did it brilliantly, and it worked awesome with Paul's idea.
Good. Lou?
This one, again, really hard for me to pick one track. You know, so many great ones. I want to give love to Escape from the Island and Under the Rose, but I gotta go The Oath, because you know, when I first put the CD in '95, you know, that was track 1.
Yeah.
And again, same thing that happened to me with Detroit Rock City happened with this one. I was just fixated on that song. I was like, this is Kiss. I love it.
Yeah.
So yeah, don't care. Like Greg said, I didn't know I was supposed to hate it, because I didn't, and I still don't.
Exactly.
It's in my top 5.
It's good stuff. I'm picking that song too. You know, it's like the early beginnings of like power metal, really. That song. You know,
I
it's got
agree.
that-
yeah.
All
Well,
right.
those who have heard Iced
I never
Earth
thought of
cover
that
it.
before.
Yeah. He said it would have been cool to hear Iced Earth cover it.
Interesting.
Somebody did cover it though, didn't they?
Yes. I don't
Um,
remember who, but
can't
somebody
think of-
definitely has. That was a power metal band. I mean, I'm
Hmm.
sure plenty of people have covered it, but
No,
I
yeah.
know what you're
I just,
talking about.
yeah.
I just can't remember who it was.
All right, let's
I
go
wish
on.
I could have afforded to go to that one Kiss cruise though, so I could have seen them do it live. That would have been worth it. Just to
Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, because they never
Hey,
do that shit. Right?
Thankfully, there is video
that's what
footage of that.
that's what they should really do. Fuck Thayer. You can bring Singer back, but bring Kulik back and do a tour with them where you play The Elder in its entirety and some classics. They got enough money. It doesn't matter who shows up. Us real fans will love it.
Yeah. They don't like that album. All right, let's get moving on here. Creatures of the Night.
Pictures
Andy.
of, I am going to go with Kiss's version of the Beatles' Help, Rock and Roll Hell. That's where I'm going to go. It reminds me so much of the Beatles' Help because of the meaning of the song.
All right. I didn't ever even gave that a thought. That's interesting.
I never thought of that before either. Oh,
Yeah.
good
It's a
point.
good song though.
Oh yeah, it's
Very
a good song.
Very
Yeah.
good song. I mean, every song off this is pretty much good. Al.
This is a tough one, man. I love this album a lot too. I'm gonna go with Saint and Sinner, man. I've
Okay.
love that song, man. I love Gene's vocal on that. It's the riffs, everything, man. Just really cool, man. So yeah, I'm going with Saint and Sinner on this one.
Very cool. Greg.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's tough, man.
Yeah, this is like the third or fourth Kiss album I had. I love this one. Every song on it is great.
Keep me coming.
Actually, yes, that is
No.
exactly what I was about to say.
No.
Yeah. Ah, dude, Paul when he's hitting that falsetto and Vinny playing along with him. It's just amazing the way that all comes together. And you got Eric's huge drums. That's a great song.
It's my least favorite. All because of the
But
screaming.
really, I think
Yeah,
the
it's
scream
too-
is
it's
good.
too
I think
much.
he does it in a good way.
He
There.
does it in a good way, but it gets too much towards the end. It's
Yeah,
a
but
little.
you gotta admit, it's one of the most memorable songs they have.
It is. It is. Only because he keeps saying, "Keep it coming, coming."
That is my probably least favorite song on this album. If I had to pick
But
one.
yeah, I love that tune. I don't even know what I could say I find least interesting, honestly. Maybe Killer.
Yeah,
I
that would
mean,
be
I
my
still
my
like
second pick.
Yeah, I still like the song a lot, but it's probably the least interesting as far as song structure wise and everything.
Yeah, yeah.
But
definitely.
no, my favorite overall, even though it's the ballad, I think it's the best one they ever did. I Still Love You.
That is a good one.
That is
I love
awesome.
the unplugged version too.
Me too.
Yeah. Yeah, the unplugged version is awesome.
But Vinny plays it better.
All right, Lou, we're on Creatures of the Night.
Did anybody pick Rock and Roll Hell?
No. Yes,
Andy
Andy
did.
did. What am I thinking? Yes, Andy.
War Machine.
I was
Great
about to.
tune.
Okay, fine. I'll give it to you. Did anybody pick the title track?
No.
I did not. No.
Okay, so again, I'm gonna go with the title track. I mean, I would have gone Danger, but
Yeah, Danger is a good song too.
Oh, Danger's great. And I love it loud.
Andy's gone.
No,
He's
I'm
out of
not
here.
him.
Oh, he's back again. It's like I fired him. Now he's back. All right.
You fired him and hired him quicker than
the amount of professionalism of my internet is amazing.
Zach Starkey in the Who.
All right, so
He's
I'm
even,
going.
he's
I'm going
even
Creed.
worse than that. He didn't even call him the right name. He said Andy disappeared. It was
No, I said
Lou.
and he. The way I figured you would have thought I said Andy. I said and he.
It's kind
Yeah,
of
whatever. Learn to talk.
George gets fired and he shows up on Monday.
Boys, no reason to fight over me. It's okay. Anyways, Creatures of the Night. I'm going with the title track.
All right. Creatures of the Night. I'm going with War Machine. And so is Catman. He's going with War Machine as well.
Great
Very
one,
awesome.
man.
Awesome song.
I almost picked that one too.
I always
too.
I
This
go to
was
that one.
tough.
It's very tough. Creatures of the Night's very tough, but I go with that one because of it's a wrestling when Taz used to come out to ECW to that song. There's just a lot of
Yes.
memories with that, and it's just brings back a lot of memories. So it's a good song. Lick It Up, Andy.
Look it up. I'm going with All Hell's Breaking Loose.
Hey
Paul-
man,
Paul-
Andy
Paul
is
rapping.
cool. Andy is the breeze.
Can you imagine a William Shatner version of this track? Street hustler came up to me one day walking as I was minding my own business.
And on the
He was
mic.
young.
And then when
on
it
the
gets to
mic.
when it gets to the chorus, Ricardo Montalban pops up. Have you heard, Kirk?
What?
Con.
MC Paul Stanley on the mic.
I like that song. I think
Rapping.
it's a
Well,
good song.
to be fair, he might not have been able to rap, but his zebra print did look nicer than Curtis Blow's. I'll give him that. I love Curtis Blow
Curtis
and
Blow.
hip hop. So, yeah. Ah, dude, the Breaks is a great jam.
Yeah. Curtis Blow is
Especially the
a-
dance hall version that's like 12 minutes long.
Curtis Blow's an OG, man.
Oh shit, yeah. Him and Schoolie D. That's one of
Crush
my
grooving,
favorite live
body
bootlegs
moving.
I have.
I love the chorus and All Hell's Breaking Loose. I love the guitar licks in that song as well. I'm not crazy about the verses, but it's like, I don't know, they're not that long, so I can kind of get through it. Just to get to the chorus, it's good. Al,
Another great album. A lot of great songs on here, man. I'm gonna go with Not for the Innocent. Another Gene.
Good one.
I love the dark Gene menacing songs, and that's a great one. That's one of my favorites on this album. I always love this one. I've always wanted to hear that one live too, and I never did, but they should have pulled that gem out. Retire War Machine for a little while, play Not for the Innocent and swap them. You know what I mean? So
bring some stuff in that people never hear. Greg?
Young and Wasted. Not only some of my favorite Vincent stuff, but also one of my favorite Eric Carr drum patterns ever, man. He goes insane on this tune.
Yeah, it's a good one. Edward Wright, he picks Exciter. This is definitely Exciter from Lick It Up.
Oh,
That is a good-
Exciter's amazing.
It is a good opening track. That was going to be my pick, but it's not my pick. Lou?
Also,
Points
the
if
first
you
time
know-
they tried to teach Vincent a lesson. They specifically
Yes.
had Rick Derringer come in and cut the solo because Paul was pissed at him.
Yes, because he's a
Been
real
in the
American.
studio for well, spending 13 hours of studio time on one solo on one song, I can totally understand why Paul was a little pissed.
I'd be mad too. All right, what's your pick, Lou?
I'm gonna go 1,000,000 to 1. I
Oh, that's a
love
good one,
this
That's
too.
a
track.
great song.
That was another pick of mine.
You guys are going on a little walk with me here because I need a fucking cigarette because it's been an hour and a half and I'm starting to shake.
I'm trying to hurry up. I'm trying to hurry up. You come up with all these Kiss stories. I'm going with the last song on the album and on the 8th Day. I know a lot of people hate that song, but I think it's a really good one. I think it's a good
I
ending.
like it better as Boys Are Gonna Rock, but it's okay on the album too.
Yeah, it's not bad. Not bad. All right. Animalize, Andy.
Yeah, I am going to go with the hit song off of there, "Heaven's on Fire."
Good one.
So I went ahead and stuck with it.
Very cool. I like that song. It's fine.
It
Al.
is. I also got to see Ace play it live.
All right.
Everybody, this album gets, people say, it's kind of a hit or miss album. I mean, this is one of the first albums I heard by Kiss, man, like in its entirety, because my brother had the cassette. I always loved this album. I mean, is there some clunkers on here? Yeah, but I am one that loves Burn Bitch Burn. I love it, man. I love the guitar riff. I love somewhat about Gene's lyrics. Who gives a shit? That's not the one I'm picking though. But I'm gonna go Under the Gun, man, on this one.
Great one.
Yeah, it's Eric's double bass and it's just a fast paced. It's them almost attempting thrash in a way, kind of. They're just. But yeah, I like this one, Under the Gun. That's my pick.
Catman picks All Hell's Breaking Loose from the Look It Up album. Greg?
I'm gonna go with Under the Gun as well, for the same reasons that Al named. That's a great song, and I also love when they would do it live because Eric would sing it. But I also want to give to a special shout out on here, even though, as much as I still feel like this is basically Paul's second solo album because Gene's head was elsewhere, and Burn Bitch Burn does kind of suck, and Mark St. John did not sound like he belonged in Kiss. I love Lonely as the Hunter.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I love that one too.
It's a great tune. Honestly, Burn Bitch Burn isn't super bad.
Is it the ooh? Is it that part?
Yes.
Patchy like gonorrhea.
All right, Lou, what's your
Burn,
pick?
bitch, burn.
And by the way, synchronized. By the way, I thought that was Bruce that played the solo on Lonely as the Hunter, but I could be wrong about that. By the way, I really want to put over Al right now because he's looking a lot like Big Papa Pump Scott Steiner with the glasses and the backwards hat and the light behind him. There's a 66 and 2/3% chance that he's gonna whoop our asses tonight. Anyways,
yeah, Bruce does play. Bruce does play the solo on Lonely as the Hunter. Yeah.
Cool. I'm gonna go while the city sleeps. I actually love this track. I mean, I would have picked I've Had Enough Into the Fire, but I think Gene just one-upped Paul on this album with that song.
Very cool. El Rincon de Pablo, he says he loves Kiss. We love Kiss too. Really good music, he says. Catman picks Heaven's on Fire, and Edward Wright agrees with me, and he says I've Had Enough Into the Fire. Really great opening track for this album. We are on to Asylum. This is another album that it took me a long time to get into, but I really enjoy it now. Andy, what are you picking for Asylum?
Asylum, I loved this album immediately. I really think Felix guitar is fantastic on here. Plays a really good guitar on this album. I am going to go with Who Wants to Be Lonely.
That's a good one. That was going to be my pick as well, but I did not pick it. But that is a really good song, actually. I think that song gets stuck in my head a lot.
That's one of two songs I actually genuinely like on here.
Al?
Oh man, I love this album too. It's another early album. I'm gonna go on all night.
No, you will not.
I love this one.
That's a lie.
No, I like on all night a lot. So
oh god, I believe him now. All right, this is the last time he's coming on the show. Greg,
shut up.
I love the opening track.
I think the
he's getting
the
to
Kiss sign's getting to me, man.
It must be.
It's getting a bit hotter than hell in here. Shit.
The fucking thing's brighter than the midday sun. Who are you?
What are you picking, Greg?
The opening track, King of the Mountain.
Oh, okay,
Great guitar from Bruce. Unfortunately, it writes a check. The rest of the album bounces.
No,
although I do like Who Wants to Be Lonely a lot. My whole problem with this is they went into total followers mode. It doesn't sound like Kiss. It sounds like Kiss trying to be Dokken. Most of it is very boring because of that.
Yeah. I don't know.
Except for Bruce's guitar. I will say it's worth listening to the whole thing for that. And legitimately, Tears Are Falling is a great song.
That's right. It is.
Shit like Radar for Love.
Yeah, it's no good. Lou, what are you picking? All night.
No.
Any way you slice it.
No, hell no.
Really? I like that one actually.
I like it too, and I wasn't gonna pick it. I mean, Who Wants to Be Lonely was given shine. King of the Mountain was given shine. I'm gonna give some shine to I'm Alive, mostly because I think of it as Under the Gun Part 2, and then I didn't pick Under the Gun for Animalize. So I'll go with I'm Alive.
I'm going Tears Are Falling. I love that song. Edward Wright says King of the Mountain. It's a really good one. I love that song. Yep. All right. Crazy Nights. Andy.
I'm going with the title track.
Good pick.
I am one of those people. People.
I love that. That was what do you mean?
If life is a radio, turn up 210.
That's like the worst song on the record.
It's not. It really isn't. That's one of my favorite.
Worse than My Way?
No, My Way is the worst song Kiss ever wrote. But anyway, go ahead, Andy.
I like the cheese of it. I love the cheese of it.
Yeah. It works with this album. The cheese works.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with cheese.
No, the more cheese, the better. Al,
I'm going with Thief in the Night, the last song.
all right.
I think it's a good Gene song. It's probably my, if I have to pick a favorite on the album, it's probably the one that I really like a lot on here. So this album really comes off the shelf though, to be honest with you.
I like
I'm
Wendy
not
O's
knocking it.
cover of that too.
Honestly, I'm not really knocking anybody that likes it. I mean, it's great, but it's them.
I
really
get why
trying-
people don't like
It's them trying to be Bon Jovi on here,
it.
man.
Yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
Desmond Child, his fingerprints are all over this album. You know,
Nevison had
Actually-
too much say in it.
Nevison as well. Yeah,
Yeah.
the production. Yeah,
Actually, I
So,
think
well-
Diane Warren had more of her finger on the pulse of this album than Desmond.
yeah.
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
she wrote like
dude,
2 or 3 songs on it.
He's on Turn on the Night.
Yeah. She had a lot of ideas brought to it, but Nevison was really the orchestrator behind a lot of it. He's the one who cut Sword and Stone and told Bruce no way and
See, that would have been a
insisted-
great song on here.
Yeah,
Sword
and you
and
know what
Stone.
they replaced it with? My Way.
My way.
My Way. Yeah.
I just find it so hard that this is the guy that produced the classic UFO records, and this is what we got from him in '87.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
Apparently,
All right, Greg, what are you picking? What are you picking from Crazy Nights, Greg?
So also a Gene song that almost never gets any love, in spite of how much I love Bruce songs like No 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 and When Your Walls Come Down. I love Girl Gone Bad.
That's a good one, too.
It's great. It's catchy. And unlike the chorus on the last song, I love when he goes, "Good girl gone bad." Ah, ah. It fits so great on here. It goes so
does.
well with the melody. That's just a great song, and I really think it's the catchiest one on here. It's my favorite for sure.
It's a good one. Lou,
I'm gonna pick "I'll Fight Hell to Hold You." There's
That's a
just
good one,
something
too.
over dramatic and over the top of the song, but it works.
yeah,
It's a great tune.
it's
It
it's
really
it's
is.
probably the heaviest song on his album.
That should have been the single, not Crazy, Crazy Nights.
These are crazy, crazy.
Ah, it just sounds so
Keep going.
contrived. It's just,
I love Crazy Nights, man, but I'm going with the same song you picked, Greg. Good Girl Gone Bad. It's a really really good song. I love the chorus in that. It's a deep track. It's a good one.
and Kulik does some really good guitar in it too.
He
you know?
does.
Again, he's really the highlight of this record.
Yeah, just like he was on Asylum, I think. Same thing.
Mhm.
That band that Chris Jericho does with Bruce Kulick, I think it's called Quarantine. with a
Yeah.
K.
Yeah,
Yes.
They did a cover of the song and actually did a pretty good job.
I saw them down
Did
here.
they
when I-
really?
Yeah.
I saw them down here when they went. I went to that Kiss Cancer Goodbye benefit that was like an hour away from me, and I caught Quarantine. And Bruce came out and played with him. Jean Beauvoir came out and played with him. The video is up on my channel if you ever want to watch it. I have the whole set. You know,
Huh, I'll have to
It's-
check
Check
that
it
out.
out.
but you know, I mean, Jericho, he has a tough time singing these songs, man. I mean, this is
Well, it's
this is
live.
the
yeah.
peak. This is the peak of like Paul's vocals, dude. You know,
Wow.
like this era. You know, his singing was off the charts, man. You know, it's not easy to sing this shit. That's probably why they stay away from it now. You know, during the latter years. You know,
Mhm.
Yeah, of course.
fucking Paul couldn't sing this stuff anymore, man.
No,
No way.
it's too much for him now. Edward
sorry, Wayne, go ahead.
Edward Wright says "Hell or High Water."
Oh, that's a
one.
great one too. Yeah.
I mean, Crazy Nights. I mean, I'll always choose it over Hot in the Shade. I don't think it's one of the worst Kiss albums, and I'm not gonna, backtrack from what I said when we did the Kiss discography. Do I think My Way is a good song? Not really, but I'll say this: it's a better song than Bang Bang You.
No, it is not.
I can't stand
Yes, it
that
is.
song, bro. I'm sorry, I can't.
Bang Bang You is terrible.
Yeah, but Bang Bang You is great compared to him. How about caterwauling like a cat in heat over a keyboard about I'm gonna do it my way. No. Everything about that tune is horrible. I don't give a rat's ass if it was Belle Biv DeVoe that sang it. It sucks. It is
In my
not a good
opinion,
song.
My Way gets a D, and you know what the D stands for, and Bang Bang You gets an F.
Hey,
That's
get
my
pissed,
opinion.
get stoned, fuck a chick, man. You know, there's nothing wrong with it.
All right, come on. Hot in the Shade. Andy.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna go.
Next.
With a big, I'm gonna go with a big hit. I'm gonna go with Forever. I love that song.
Good choice.
Ballad.
Good choice. I know somebody who covered that song. 2 people covered that song.
We didn't
Al?
cover Forever.
That's right. We didn't cover Forever. Never
We
mind.
covered Reason to Live. You
Rhythm
fools.
of the Night.
I'm
Oh,
tired.
wow.
It's late.
I'm glad you didn't hear what I just said.
What did you say?
Well, I knew it was Reason to Live, but I'm tired myself. And like I said, I was watching the Cosby Show earlier.
Yeah.
I said Rhythm of the Night, the fucking El DeBarge too.
Oh,
There you go.
British
Next
style
Severed
drum.
Angel couple.
It's Severed Angel.
Don't tempt Wayne. He'll go for it.
I will. We'll do it. All right, Al.
Oh, the heat from the sign. Don't
Oh, I knew it. He's going for Read My Body, Wayne. I knew it.
even a heat stroke won't make me pick that song. No, I'm gonna go with Andy too, man. I'm gonna go with Forever. I've always loved. I think that's one of their best ballads
Oh,
they ever
yeah.
did. It's a very well written ballad. I love the acoustic guitar solo that Bruce does. I think it's really cool. You know, yeah, Michael Bolton is a great writer on here. But no, I like it. I like the way Paul sings it. I like Eric's drums in it too. You know, so yeah, I'm gonna go with Forever.
Good choice, Greg.
Quite honestly, I much prefer to listen to El DeBarge over this record any day. Forever is definitely the best song on it and one of the best they ever wrote, but I never really liked this record. I really don't have a favorite.
Wow.
You had to pick though.
Well, both of you guys said Forever. I'll go Betrayed. That's an okay.
That's a good one too. I like that one too.
That's got some real good Bruce work on it too. That and Boomerang are both pretty good songs, I will say.
Interesting. Edward Wright picks King of Hearts. That's a good one. I like that one.
Interesting.
I was almost gonna go Little Caesar. I like the Eric Carr song.
Yeah, that one's not bad either.
It's not bad.
You're probably just hungry. Thinking of the pizza.
Little Caesars. Pizza.
I sure
Lou?
can go for a slice. So.
Shit.
Lou, what are you picking?
Boomerang. Move on.
Boomerang. All right, I'm going
Now
Forever.
move on.
Forever. Revenge. Andy.
I am gonna go with. I really like this song, and it really stuck out to me when I was going through these albums. I'm gonna go with Spit.
Oh,
Good
okay.
one.
I love
That's
that
a good
one.
one.
It's a great
I
song.
really like
I
the
like
back and forth. Gene and Paul, you don't really hear them.
No, I
Boo.
don't really
Oh,
hear
well,
you.
you do, but not as
You're garbling
open,
up,
you know
buddy.
what I mean?
Yeah, you're chopping up.
Oh,
Oh, now he's frozen.
oh, okay.
Frozen.
I was saying that you really don't hear Gene and Paul going back and forth on the vocals like they do here.
Yeah.
So I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got you now.
Were
You're
y'all
in
able to
there.
hear me now? No?
Yeah, good. It's a good pick. Good song.
All right.
Al.
I'm going Unholy, dude. I gotta go. When I first saw the video, and I was like, "Fuck, man, Gene is back." That's to me. That was Gene's best look, his best non-makeup look. It just looked so menacing, and it was just so heavy. I was like, "Wow, man, Kiss is fucking back, like with a vengeance, man, like heavy and shit." You know, and I'm not a shitter on this album like a lot of people are. I do tend to think it's a little bit overrated, but I do like a lot of the songs on this album though. There's a lot of good ones on here. So I like the Bob Ezra and what he brought back, kind of the sound. And Vinny Vincent wrote some songs on here, which was kind of
Right.
cool. You know,
Unholy.
He
was
did
one of them.
Unholy. Yep.
yeah. So yeah, I'm going Unholy though.
All right, cool. Edward Wright picks Thou Shalt Not.
Ooh, that's a good
I like that one too, man.
Good song.
I think Gene's songs are the best on here.
Yeah, I think so. If this album fits his voice a lot because of how dark it is. Greg.
I'm gonna go Unholy as well. That was basically my introduction to them, was that video, and it's just a perfect song. And yeah, it's like Gene is back. Most menacing, not only him, but the whole band had been in years. And this album would also be in my top 5. Maybe is it overrated a little bit? Yes, but as much as I love Lick It Up, this is the best album they did since Creatures. It's
Well.
that good of a level.
Yeah, I was gonna text Al earlier today, but but then I got busy at work. I think that a better album because the Gene songs on this album are really good.
Lou.
I'm gonna go Unholy.
Wow. Almost everybody. Because I'm
I think
going
the
Unholy as well.
I think the consensus is that it's like the best song on the album of this.
That's why Wayne and I covered it.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, God gave rock and roll to you. I just want a Heart of Chrome.
Domino is actually good too.
It's full of great songs, but Unholy is just an instant classic. It's ferocious.
Yeah. It's Gene as the demon without wearing the demon makeup. And honestly,
Yes.
in my opinion, the only throwaway track on this album is Tough Love. I'm not a fan of that one, but the rest of the stuff's really good.
Nah, Tough Love is really, I mean, it still sounds like Kiss, but it's definitely a remnant of them trying to be other people like they were doing during the 80s, because that more sounds like something you would hear like Winger or Poison or any other number of bands that were influenced by Kiss during that era of time.
So that I can.
Catman's picking Unholy too. Let's we only got 4 more albums left, so let's get through this. Carnival of Souls.
Seduction of the Innocent.
All right.
Oh, I'm gonna go with Hate.
Hate. Good one. Al?
Hey, love this album a lot, man. I love when Kiss took these left turns, man. You know what I mean? So, and this is one of my favorites. I love this album, even though a lot of people are divided on this album, whatever. But it's tough for me to pick a song on here, actually.
That's good.
But I'm gonna go with Master and Slave. I think that's a great one, man. Paul singing his ass off on there, man.
That's my pick too. I think it's
Master and
really
Slave.
good. Yeah, oh yeah. It's a lot of songs on this album I really enjoy.
I love
this
this album.
It's really heavy.
It's a great record. It's another great one that Bruce is just the glue of and main driving force behind a lot of.
This is Bruce. This is Bruce's album, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lou? Oh, sorry.
No, I was gonna say that's a big reason I love Seduction of the Innocent so much. You know,
I love that one too, man.
Dude, his playing in that tune is just unreal.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree, man.
All right, Lou. Sorry, I was watching Andy get in trouble. He's getting his phone taken away. He's on too late.
Nah. No, I'm trying to balance my phone, but I have to plug it up because it's running out of battery. But I'm ready.
I'm gonna go Jungle.
Oh, that is
Another great song. Yeah,
I love that song. All right, Psycho Circus. Something tells me we're all gonna have the same song, but go ahead, Andy.
Oh, I don't know. We're all going to have the same one. I love We Are One.
Oh, okay, we're not all having the same song.
No.
All right, that's not bad. That's okay.
Which one did he pick?
We Are
We
One.
Are One.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, it kind of reminds me of, we all got back together and made an album, and we're doing this as We Are All One.
Yeah, you like the sentimental stuff.
Kind of.
Yeah.
It's a very kumbaya song.
Yeah.
It is.
Al?
Now, how much kumbaya and how much we're actually on it, and well, who
Yeah,
knows?
right.
But I'll look at the bright side of things.
This album was a bit of a letdown for me. I remember, the hype of the original Land Limp was back. They're putting a new album out, and I got caught up in that hype and stuff. But I mean, I probably like about half of this album, but it's really two of my favorite songs. It's down to two of my favorite songs here. But ultimately, I'm gonna go on the song where the original four play on, "Into the Void," the Ace song.
okay.
So, I mean, that's the only song that all four of them guys play on.
That's
you
true.
know.
Forgot about that.
Yeah, "Into the Void," man. I'm gonna go with that one.
Not a bad pick. Edward Wright picks Jungle for the last album. So good pick.
Good pick.
Greg?
Well, so I stand by the fact that this is their second worst album as far as I'm concerned. It was a huge letdown after they had seen the reunion and they're back and they're gonna do another tour and a new album and they're on Mad TV's Halloween special and the song Psycho Circus is amazing. And then I bought this. Like the title track, "Into the Void's" pretty good. There's what's the other song Peter sings? "I Finally Found My Way."
Finally
That
found
one's okay too, but for the most part, not a really good record. And most likely it's because it's a holdover from Carnival of Souls, but I think it's the best song on the record, "Within."
That was gonna be
That
my
was
second
my-
pick.
That was my other choice. Yeah,
It's a good one.
that's a great one, man.
Yeah,
And
it's
it
another
definitely-
great
it def-
menacing Gene. Yeah.
And it definitely sounds like a holdover from Carnival. It definitely would have fit on that album.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Lou?
Well, I would have picked Within if nobody else picked it before me, but since Greg did, I'll give him that. So I'll just choose the title track, Psycho Circus.
It's okay to have the same songs because I'm gonna have Psycho Circus, and so does Edward Wright, and so does Lou Mavs.
Yeah, I mean, let's face it, there's not a lot of good
This-
to pick from on
Yeah,
this
don't
one.
just-
Starts off strong with the first two songs, and
Pretty much.
That last
Although
song,
I
the last song
would've
is not
picked-
bad though.
I would have picked Raise Your Glasses or Dreamin'
good
as
one.
like my third or fourth.
Wait, both of you just said you like Raise Your Glasses? Oh,
I
I like
that
Raise Your
song's all right.
Glasses.
fuck.
Oh,
I gotta get out and
hate
make
that
more
song, man.
friends.
I hate that song. I can't stand.
I'm with Al. I'm honestly flabbergasted. I cannot stand that tune. I think it's one of the worst things they ever put to record.
No,
It is just a completely horrible song.
Again, I still stand by Sonic Boom being a worst album because they literally ripped off Nothing But a Good Time on it.
Well, they did that and then they ripped off themselves. I mean, Sonic Boom is another one of them throwback things where no.
Which is funny because that's the next album.
that is the next album. And Andy, what are you picking from it?
Stand.
What?
I like that song.
What song?
Stand.
And
Oh, Stand. Okay.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. I keep on trying to hold my phone. I'm putting my hand on the microphone. So Stand.
It's all right. You know what it is. I would have known it if I would have like given a shit about this album, but I don't even know that's a song on the album, so it's okay. Catman's picking Into the Void too for Psycho Circus, by the way.
good pick.
Al,
I'm going with the opening track, "Modern Day Delilah."
might as well.
Yeah,
Uh,
these last two Kiss albums is just like kind of like whatever, man. But
it's
Yeah.
it's just one song blended into another. It's just unmemorable. Any of them. Greg,
Well, it definitely isn't Danger You, Danger Us. But no, I'm gonna go with the popular pick here and Modern Day Delilah. I really do think it's the best song on the record.
Lou.
Modern Day Delilah.
Yeah. Edward Wright says Modern Day Delilah, killer song. Catman says You Need Glasses. Yeah. I'm going with Say Yeah. I'm only going with Say Yeah because they played it on the last show or on the last few concerts that they've done.
That's
so
not a bad song.
It's not a bad song.
No, but like you and I were talking about, even when we did this discography, it's not so much that these are horrible albums, and I mean, well, I love Crazy Nights, but that's a different story. But I like both of these better than, well, Monster anyway, better than Asylum and Hot in the Shade.
You need help.
But the songs just weren't super memorable. But don't tell me I need help.
You need
Al
help.
over there likes All Night, for Christ's sake.
That is true. Well, he is like sweltering hot over there. So I kind of.
I'm on drugs. That's not an
That's true.
excuse.
That is true. You could be on drugs in front of the Kiss sign. That would even be worse.
Instead, he
Oh,
got a piece
man.
of butter flying over his head.
I'd be over here touching it, and my
As
hair
Paul-
be all
as-
standing up
as-
because of the electricity from it. I'd be like, "Ow!
as-
Don't be alarmed. I think I
as
might
Paul-
be Jesus."
As Paul would say in the exposed video, I want to hear all night.
You know, root beer is a great substitute for milk and breakfast cereal.
Yeah, it's made of roots.
All right.
It's natural.
All right, let's get this over with. Monster, Andy, quickly end
Get
this.
over with. The devil is me.
The devil is me. That's on the album. I don't even know.
Yeah, it is on the album. It's
All
like-
right.
Really? That's a good one, Wayne. That's pretty catchy, actually.
I'll take your word for it. Al,
Yeah, it's got some real good riffs. Wouldn't you say, Andy? I think
Oh yeah,
so.
I think so.
I don't know. Al,
I'm gonna go a Wall of Sound,
okay.
second track on the album.
All right, great.
Again, like it's I was almost gonna pick Hell or Hallelujah, the first track, but
Glad
so
you
yeah,
did.
go ahead. So
Good pick. Greg,
Mm. It's, I'm gonna go with Back to the Stone Age.
I almost picked that one too.
Yeah, I love that song. I really think it's a good song, but I like Wall of Sound a lot as well. So that was kind of a tough pick. But Back to the Stone Age is, I would say, the legitimate classic off of these two albums, along with Modern Day Delilah.
interesting. You mentioned Wall of Sound, and so
Monster's
did
an alright
everybody.
album.
What's that?
I like Monster. I think it's an alright album.
A lot of people like it. I don't know. I just can't get into
I think it's a really good album. I think this is where they drop the bullshit of, oh, haha, what a laugh. We're going to do this and make it look like Rock and Roll Over and try to sound like that 76 to 78 period again, and said, well, hey, we still sound like Kiss because we are Kiss. Let's let the new guys throw in some input. And I think that's, to me anyway, that's what makes Monster really strong. I think it is a really good album. It's just not.
It's not
Well,
bad.
you know, they're older. It doesn't quite have the hooks of the early days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lou,
You know, I would have picked Hell or Hallelujah. I'll say, you know, just like Naked City, it is the best song on the record. But I'm gonna say my favorite one on this, and I can't believe I'm gonna say it, but it's Tommy Thayer's contribution, Out of This World. I think he actually wrote a really good song with Kiss, and I do enjoy it.
I'm glad. I'm picking Last Chance just because I don't know. I really don't know. I have no reason why I even picked that song. It's on the album, so go check it out.
It's on there.
But that was fun. I did not know this was going to take 2 hours, but this was a lot of fun. And
Dude, we're talking a discography of 40 years.
Al just brought out a thing of paper towels. You wiping yourself down with that?
Holy shit!
Well, now you can
Oh,
turn.
wait.
yeah,
I have to take Windex and like fucking.
We all need to chip in and get Al a jug of laundry detergent
Al's got a
for his
77
suffering here.
And the,
Yes.
my wife's gonna be like, "Did you see the electric bill?"
yeah, I know. Is that the longest that's been on for 2 hours?
It's pretty. That's pretty long.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
Al's got a 77 and 2/3% chance of melting before this episode ends.
Oh God.
Well, now you can turn the light off and go take a
Go to
shower.
sleep.
I'm sure you need a shower. And thanks for coming on the show, guys. Oh, Catman says Dr. Fuck's favorite album since Lick It Up. I guess that's
It
pretty.
is.
Wow,
Monster.
Monster?
Yeah, he likes Monster a lot. I know that.
that's pretty sad. What the fuck does that guy know anyway? Really?
Oh, jeez.
I mean, I like Monster. Legitimately, I do.
Yeah.
I'm just surprised anybody would find it better than Revenge. But hey,
Yeah, he hates Revenge. But again, what the fuck does he know? Guys,
yeah. Oh.
what?
I
I'm
never
trying to
said it
end
was
the
better
show.
than Revenge.
No,
Okay, moving on.
Ralph hates Revenge. So
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
he
no,
thinks
I
it's
get it.
overrated.
Let's move on. Yeah,
Let's move on. Al's got
Hey,
to go
but
take a
thanks a lot
shower.
for having me, guys. I really did enjoy my time. So thank you very much.
Yeah, I'm glad you were able to come back
Good
on.
time.
And
Good having you,
Yeah,
Andy.
thanks
now.
for coming on, Andy.
thanks,
I'm gonna
Al, for
go-
coming on.
Thank you. I'm gonna go hydrate now, and
Go drink some water. Go take a
Yeah.
shower. Change your clothes, please. And
by
yeah,
the way, the shirt that I'm wearing, Trigger.
I
is
was
a
I was
band-
very triggered by that shirt, by the way.
Yeah, it's a band that was on Casablanca Records in the late '70s. Kiss is the label that Kiss was on.
Yeah.
And they're a New Jersey band actually, and they're actually coming out with a new album. They haven't had an album since 1978. They had a second album that was put in a can, never came out, and they're putting it out now. So
Wow.
go back and give Trigger a listen. You'll hear some good songs, man.
All right.
Check them out.
I'll
I'll
check the-
Okay, cool.
I'll throw a link up on
Check it
my my
Interesting.
page. Yeah,
All right,
so
sounds good.
Yeah,
all right, guys.
All right. Have
Have
a
a
good
good night,
night.
guys.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Al.
Hello, Greg, Wayne. Have a great night, Andy.
All
I'll
right,
see
you guys too.
Yeah.
All right, go find
Bye,
Andy and Al on their shows, Black Spinner, and Al's show is what the hell is your name of your show?
Be
Be
cool
cool
to
to
be
be podcast
podcast out.
That's right. Go find them.
And remember, all night.
All right, everybody. Hit the subscribe button, and we will see you next week. And go buy the Severed Angel album. I don't have many left. I only have, hold on. Oh, shit. Where's the box? I only have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 physical copies left.
Oh.
So if you want one from the band, get it now while I have
Where
it.
the hell
Otherwise-
did you learn to count? You're holding 6.
Well, this
I
is not
think
the,
those
this
two
is
are
not
on hold. That's the first
Oh.
album.
That's
Okay.
the first album. But these I only have 4 the new one. So
Ah,
and
Yes,
yes, we did
and-
we did find some more of the debut album. So we took it down for a little bit, but we found more. So there's a couple left of those as well. But they're running out.
All right. Cool.
Get them while you can. SeveredAngel.bandcamp.com.
And
All right.
go to our YouTube page and watch our videos. We have a new one out. Okay, it's called Wolf and Sheep's Clothing, and the next one should be coming out next month.
I don't know. I gotta crack the whip on that guy.
Yes, you do.
We'll see. All right, guys. Well, thanks again for watching the show. I know this was a very long episode, but I thank you for sticking by and watching it, and I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, hit the subscribe button. Next time, join us in the chats. Tell us anything you want in the chats, and I will, read the chat. All right. See you guys next week. Again, Andy, thanks for joining us.
Thanks,
Thanks,
you guys.
Andy.
All
Appreciate
right.
I just realized
Yep.
with my beard, my face, my jawline's as big as Quagmire's.
Yeah, it is pretty big. All right. Goodbye.
Mm,